At the SIAM convention, electric vehicle makers also expressed concern about the implementation timeline of the new EV safety and testing norms. We caught up with Tarun Mehta of Ather Energy about the production ramp-up and also whether Ather will be able to meet the timeline of 1st October as far as the new EV testing and safety standards go.
Parikshit, our demand's been actually much higher for a long time. We've been massively supply constrained. But we are clear, we don't want to hurt unit economics to scale up supply chains unnecessarily. So we went down the harder path and we fixed component by component. We created alternates where it was required. We deepened relationships with the partners where it was possible. All in all, it took almost 9 months, as with any good process. And 9 months later, a lot of our issues are now way behind, significantly behind us. We are growing considerably. What's ahead of us? We are already now on a run rate of 10,000 units a month, and demand continues to be higher. So at every scale, demand is still higher than what we can supply.
So September onwards, 10,000 a month?
Almost.
Yeah. And how much is your demand? How much would you
demand is higher.
Percentage-wise, how much would you be making? Can't say.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of future product launches, how many more can we expect with this fiscal, or are you going to go ahead with your latest offering for the moment and just concentrate on its rollout?
We're just going to concentrate on what we have. As an overall product philosophy, we like a tighter portfolio. We don't like the approach of a very wide portfolio, too many products, too many models, hundreds of variants. We think our approach is to take a few large, deep bets. So even next year, you will not see several models. You will likely only see one model. Now we are expanding what we offer. It's not just the vehicle. It's chargers, it's accessories, it's our software offerings are continuously expanding. What we're doing on UI, what we're doing on navigation, everything's expanding. So with that, we'll have a lot to bring out as fresh news. But at the vehicle level, it will still be limited things that we announce.
Right. Now coming back to the issue of profitability, by when do you think Ather will break even, will become profitable?
It's not happening this FI, in case that's in your mind. No, we'll not be profitable this FI. But it's, I would say in the next couple of years, it's almost certain to happen. Despite challenging macro situations and all the challenges we have had on commodities.
After the recent EV fires, a committee has recommended a new set of changes in order to vehicle testing. These new norms are proposed to come into effect from 1st of October. The industry has found several problems with this. What would be your thoughts and what would be your recommendation?
I think the government is right in asking for tighter quality from the industry. We were all expecting norms of some kind of kick-in. In fact, players like us have been at the forefront recommending the right changes to the government. We think, however, there is a timeline challenge. In an automotive industry, given the scale it operates at, I think the industry is going to stare at production stop for months if we just run into 1st October. So and obviously it's our responsibility as OEMs to help the government understand what is a reasonable time and maybe what's even an aggressive time, right? 1st October does seem like a difficult to pull off timeline for everybody.
At the same time, I'd like to ask you about some of the issues that we're seeing with the electric vehicle rollout all across the country. EV fires. There were almost 9 cases of EV fires between March and May this year. Recently we saw an explosion in an EV showroom.
Quite unfortunate.
That happened, as a result of which 8 people lost their lives due to smoke fumes as well. There are also investigations going on at the level of the Department of Heavy Industries against companies which are not meeting the FAME criteria, the domestic value addition criteria. Some FAME subsidies have been stopped as well. Now, what does this all show about the EV ecosystem and what needs to be done from the industry's point of view? Is this a wake-up call?
What it shows is that this is a sunrise sector and there is a cold rush on and everybody wants to make a claim, right? Does not mean that everybody will be successful. That's all it means.